Hey everyone, this is Felicia with The Book is Done. I wanted to talk about what I've read this month for the month of March. It's been kind of slow this month. I only have three to talk about um, between being unexpectedly sick and just life. I feel like I've gotten started on a few books, but I've only been able to follow through with three of them. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is one from a dear friend of mine. We've become really, really cool, and she is so gracious to trust me with her books and being an ARC reader. So very honored on this one. This is called The Summer of Swallows by Marley Garcia. This book was good. It was very, very good. It was about 247 pages, standalone book. This book is really, it was really good. I would give it like a 4 out of 5. It definitely kept my interest, but it definitely had me like going in circles, like who is it? Who could it be? So long story short, travel back, picture this, summer of 1998. Like it seems like it was so long ago, um, but it really wasn't. Um, Geez, almost 30 years ago. Mm. But in all things, summer 1998, there's this girl, she has to be like 19. Her name is Rosie. And Rosie is like head over heels in love with a lead singer of a band. And she goes with her best friend, and her best friend is her best friend, but not really. Like, um, her best friend kind of seems, or it feels like, um, she is like the third wheel, if you will. So, um, the best friend's name is Billy. I had to look it up. So, Rosie and Billy go to this concert. It's of a band called the Swallows, and basically it's named after the lead singer, whose name is Chris Swallow. And Rosie and Chris hit it off, inseparable, and then it was like one day, she just vanished. She just all of a sudden gone. Nobody knows what's going on. So it ended up being a cold case. Fast forward to modern times. There, the book starts out, excuse me, with this couple. It's an older couple, and they were complaining about how their yard was just disgusting, like just full of bags, and it smelled of like rotten meat and death, from what they were saying. And they kept complaining. In essence, the man was, or the person rather, was a hoarder. And so, they filed complaints, had the police to come out there, and nothing could be done. So it was one day someone did like a health check on this person. Come to find out, it was a hoarder, and it was the lead singer of the Swallows, Chris. And so, just trying to figure out what all is going on. So, they, on the back of the book, is called DCI, Jack. So kind of like a private detective or a police officer, if you will. Um, he was on the case with Rosie, and so he uses the opportunity to utilize Chris's death and be like, okay, hey, this is Chris Swallows. He was in connection to Rosie. Well, we can rule him out that he killed her, I guess. But in all essence, the book just basically goes through um, interviewing all of the members of the band. It was like three members that they interviewed. The road manager. It was a lady who was like the background singer, but excuse me, in modern times, she now has her own group, and their manager. So the book just goes throughout interviewing everybody. They're recalling what happened, what they knew. And meanwhile, the younger sister of Rosie is Laura. Laura was like 12 years her junior. Rosie's junior. So she was 7 years old. No, she was, yeah, 12 years her junior because Rosie was 19, and Laura was 7. So Laura had no idea what was going on. And so she's never kind of let it rest. And her sister, she feels like her sister was murdered. And so when this came out in the news, she, along with Private Detective Jack West, uses this opportunity to be like, hey, I want to help. I want in with what's going on or what happened with my sister. And so, all in all, the book was really, really good. If there are any triggers, I would say that it would be like verbal abuse, if any, um, with the parent. Not really with, it was just like your typical, like your parental teenage relationship, if you will, between parents and a child, where the child is being a child and a parent is being a parent. So I wouldn't say that it was verbal abuse, but there are some instances throughout the case where it's like drug abuse, things of that nature. So in all things, this was a really, really, really good book. Solid for sure. It keeps you guessing all the way up to the end because it's just like, who in the world is it? So in all things, Summer of Swallows by Marley Garcia. Go get it. Available on Amazon. All of her books are available on Amazon. My goal is to get all of her books, and she's steady coming out with books. I feel like it's every few months. This book, I want to say, came out February, early February, early March, and I had to get it. So even though I am an ARC reader, where it's a digital, 9 times out of 10 it's a digital copy of the book, I still like to physically purchase the book for support. So definitely check it out. I have spoken about some of her other books on my page. So if you like it, please go check it out. Feel free. Let me know what your thoughts are. Even if it's not with this book, maybe another one of hers. But she is on Instagram. She's on Facebook. So definitely feel free to check her out. But this is Felicia with The Book Is Done. We're on to the second one. Let's go.